Production is just about pushing out content. Conceptual is about understanding the direction, the order, or the thrust of where you're going. Hey, leaders and learners, Leonard, Geddes here. I hope you're doing well, and I hope I can make your day a little bit better. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to not get stuck. So, as many of you know, I'm in the midst of writing this book entitled Transition Gaps and Traps. At least that's the tentative title. And in this book, the book has to be 90,000 words, and I'm well into that. And I got to a point to where I just got stuck, and I'm trying to churn out content, but I'm realizing that it's just not working. I don't feel like I'm putting out quality content. And so I had to realize and go back to one of my own strategies. So when I do trainings with faculty and students and institutions, I'm often talking to them about how to divide academic work into content elements, cognition element, and conceptual elements. And I actually talk about this in my book because a large part of the book deals with helping college students do high quality academic work. So I'm in this mindset of my book of production, and I'm thinking I just need to just sit down and just write and just push out content. But I had to realize that my approach was wrong. And at heart, I'm a strategist. So when I consult with institutions, I'm often coming in from a strategic mindset. And so from a strategist standpoint, there are three components to a strategy. One is the diagnoses, two is the approach, and three are the coordinated actions that go along to execute the approach. And so for me, the approach, the diagnosis determines everything, because if you don't diagnose the problem properly, then whatever approach you use is not going to fully solve the problem. So here's where this gets to me. In this book, I was in a production approach mindset where I'm just sitting down, writing out content, regardless of the quality of it. But then I had to realize that my issue was conceptual. And the difference is that production is just about pushing out content. Conceptual is about understanding the direction, the order, or the thrust of where you're going. And so I want to show you a little tip that I used to help me get back on track. It's a little simple thing here that comes into focus. So the book, this title is on functional traps. And I know this isn't great or well written, or it's not anything elaborate. The point of me sharing that visual with you is I want to show you how basic and rudimentary things can be. In that little visual, I just simply was able to map out some elements of functional traps that then allowed my mind to see the bigger picture. And because I was able to do that, I was refreshed, I was refocused, and now I'm back on course, full of energy, full of passion, ready to go back and move forward with writing. And so if you're someone who's maybe you're a business executive, maybe you're a student, you're a professor, you're a teacher, you're a parent, whatever you're doing, you're an artist, but you are in the weeds of dealing with some things that's really taxing. If you can take a step back and work on the conceptual elements of it, then it'll help you a lot. And so for me, step one was the first recognition of the diagnoses. How did I recognize that it was a conceptual problem? I saw myself just spinning in circles and not really making any progress. And so I had to step back, realizing that the reason I was doing that was because I didn't see the bigger picture. It's like you're walking through the forest and you're in the midst of the trees. It's hard to get direction unless you can get that panoramic view of being able to see, okay, this is where I need to go first, and then this is how I need to get to the next route. Secondly, was the approach. A conceptual approach is completely different from a production approach, because the conceptual approach is not about putting things on the paper. It's about getting my mind to see things and how they connect and how they interconnect. And oftentimes that involves getting rid of some things. And then thirdly, the coordinated actions. Me simply taking this action to map these things out helped me tremendously. And so I hope that with you can use some type of illustration, drawing, as you can see by that visual, that I'm not the best artist. However, if you can use some type of shape, square, circle, triangle, some type of visual shape, that will allow your mind to see things from a conceptual standpoint, because our minds think visually, not textually. And so if you're involved in text, then text are very abstract tools. Visuals are much better. So again, I hope this helped you out. Again, the core takeaway is make sure you diagnose your problems. Don't just stand there doing something that's not productive. And then next, make sure you base your approach on that diagnosis. And then third, make sure you have some coordinated actions that execute that approach. They can be simple like mine, or they might be a little more complex. But the key thing for me is I'm energized, I'm focused, and I'm ready to go. And now I'm not wasting time anymore. I'm back on full direction on the path that I want to go in. So I hope this helped you out. If you like this video, go ahead and like it below. Leave a comment. Let me know how you deal with your conceptual dilemmas. Also, make sure you subscribe and click that notification button. Until next time, remember, if students think well, they learn well, they perform well. Thanks.